Hey everybody, this is Scott from Lawrence Hypnotherapy, and thank you again for watching this video called How to Get Your Clients to Buy From You. And so I'm Scott Lawrence from Lawrence Hypnotherapy, Lawrence Hypnotherapy, hopefully your best friend in business, and giving you just what I have learned, what's worked for me, the needle movers, what has helped me to basically grow my leads and my sales for either one-on-one, live events, or online courses, or anything that we're putting out there this year, and the stuff that's really helped us. And with the changes with Facebook, how engagement matters more this year than it ever did before, that you can't be that celebrity who has a once-off following and can bank on that forever using social media anymore. It is rented space. If you're using Google or Facebook or any of those things, just to remember that you don't own Facebook, you're borrowing it, which means that as soon as they want to change something, they'll just go ahead and change it. So it's really important to go for engagement on Facebook and then to get people onto your list so you can recontact them. So getting straight into this, how to get your clients to buy from you. The 3 triggers that I really want you to consider, that if you're not currently using this in your business, start using it. Just watch how it changes everything. And the first one, the reason that we talk about this red brain versus green brain, is that we've seen people, they've perfected one thing, which is that they've learned how to describe what it is that they do. But they're still coming from such a logical, factual, step-by-step, dry, boring, unengaging way of speaking that it really kind of, it just fails to connect with people. They want those leads, or they're kind of like talking about scarcity. They think that the world has less than, 7 billion people in it, that it's hard to get like more than 1 or 2 clients a week or something, because they're coming from such a left brain. So left brain red, right brain green. And so if you think about it like traffic lights, it's that when you see the red traffic light, it kind of means danger, stop, look both ways, look for things that could kill you, look for things that could harm you. Like, is a bus going to come and smash into the side of my car? Is a police car or an ambulance or something? Or is there a pedestrian or a bicyclist or something? That's what the left brain does. Logic means stop. As soon as you're making a logical case for people to buy your program, have you noticed in your own life, in your own experience, in your own attempts, that when you've fallen off and like you're like, no one's coming to my event, or no one's buying my thing, or no one's, the economy's down, blah, 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 all of that, it all comes from like analyzing and analyzing and analyzing logic. That's your accountant's job. That's not your job. You're the visionary. The right brain, green, like the green light, you notice like what happens like when the green pedestrian light comes on, like you're looking down at your phone, you're not even looking for cars, you just trust that thing. It's like there's no other way to live but to kind of, the green light says go, so you go. Or that when you're driving, that you see the green light, you're not looking left and right, you're just running with it. So it's the same as like, think about like Christmas, like when everyone's buying, that they're emotional and they don't stop, they just keep going. They buy, they've come in to buy one little thing and they ended up getting like, bags and bags worth of stuff. And while they're there, they're in the food court and they've got like a latte and they've got a donut and they've got a bagel and they've just spent like, $300 worth of stuff. But someone rings you up and says, hi, I'm your Google Ads partner, something, and you go like, hang up, because I don't want to be sold to. Your job is to talk to people about their emotions and the benefits, the lifestyle benefits of what they're going to get, not just your program itself. So if we have a friend who is in trouble, or we've got like a family member or whoever and they need help, our instinct is to save them. So what we do is we go into solution mode and we tell them, oh, here's the steps, do that. But then do you notice like how they don't really appreciate it that much? They actually start to back off because they're going like, you're not listening to me. People want to feel things. It's like that you don't think hungry, you feel hungry. And so when you start explaining logic to your audience, notice how your sales dive versus like, imagine how well off you could be. Like not like a get rich quick, but think about how well off you could be if you didn't have to think about money again. Like give yourself like a picture, a feeling, put yourself in that situation, like where your job is to talk to people about their emotions, and you're this loving, caring person that gives people the space to figure their own stuff out. And meanwhile, you get all your bills paid, you get to go on holidays and pay off your house. That's the power of using the green brain, the right brain, the abstract, the emotions, versus always using like step-by-step logic. Again, thinking about, remember Steve Jobs? How he was competing against a market of MP3 players, like how many megs, how many gigs does this thing do? And he stepped completely away from that, and he just shows these silhouettes of people like with this white cable from their pocket to their ears, just having a dance party, and like they've got all their favorite albums in their pocket. He didn't have to bring up numbers. He went for the green brain. So make sure you're having green brain conversations with your market. So if you're posting on social media, putting out emails, where's your emotion? Where's your excitement? It's like, come back to life, get back on the horse again. Green brain. And I guarantee it's going to really change things for you. The second trigger is the recency and the frequency. So people buy from, they date, and they talk to the people that they saw most recently and the ones that they saw most frequently over strangers that they've just seen this one time. So like that whole, I just met you, will you marry me? Or how does that song go? That I just met you, this is crazy, here's my number, call me maybe. It's that I just met you. I don't know you yet. I haven't built trust with you yet. I need to find out who you are over time. So we can like think about like when you marry somebody, that there's the meeting, then there's the first date, then there's the second date, and a lot of things happen before the actual marriage. So you might want to shorten your sales cycle, but you still need a sales cycle that gives people time to get to know you over time. So when's the last time you emailed your list? When's the last time you posted on social media? When's the last time you retargeted, called, or messaged your list of customers and subscribers? So it costs so much less to get a customer to come back or to get a subscriber to become a customer than it takes to get a brand new stranger to buy from you. So it might cost you like, I don't know, like $7 for a lead, just for a click on Facebook, for, you know, somebody to come onto your page just to start considering coming to your event. But it might only cost like $1.50 to retarget people that have already been there. And so a business decision that you can make is start building a list and contact that list more than once. This is a fear that people have, but Green Brain, solve that stuff. Make sure that you're someone who's comfortable recontacting people and have a system to do it. Recency and frequency. Recently, when was the last time you contacted your list? And frequently, how often do you do it? This is going to be a huge game changer. And the third one, create a buying mindset, not a selling mindset. So just taking a look at this woman in the photo, does she look happy to be spending money? Like, these aren't bills. Like, this isn't like a sting, like, oh, there's the phone bill, there's rent, there's mortgage again, there's, I don't know, my internet I've got to pay again, or my whatever it is. She is loving this. People love to spend money, but they don't like to be sold to. So, like, what is an example of a buying mindset over a selling mindset? I get a call probably every single day from somebody either telling me that they're a Google partner, wanting to get me onto the first page of Google, or that they want to sell me solar panels. I just say, look, I live in a tent, or I just hang up on them or whatever. It's that I have no relationship with them whatsoever, and they're just saying, would you like to buy solar panels? No, I would not like to buy solar panels. But the funny thing is, like, that when I've been following like a marketer online for a while, if they start to come across as a bit of a celebrity, either they're doing an event in my town, I'm like, I'm going to come along to that. Because I want to, like, sometimes I just want to turn up and take a photo with them. And you'd be like, well, if you're an addiction expert, why would somebody want to take a photo with you? Why would somebody want to take a photo with an addiction expert? Because it's not just that you're solving their problem, that they admire you. Think about who is it that you like to hang out with. Do you like to hang out with necessarily the person who is the smartest? Or do you just like to hang out with someone who's the most fun? So again, like when I was a lecturer at the Academy of Hypnotic Science, then I was teaching the business stuff because nobody else was around to really do it at that time. That I put my hand up and I've gone, you know, I'm seeing 40 clients a week. I'll come and teach business at the Academy of Hypnotic Science. And it was the same one that made it legal to do hypnosis in Australia. And it's amazing that I got to be there. It was such a privilege. But then, like, when I started showing these students, like, these, you know, DVD sets and CD sets and manuals, and I've gone, check these things out. You guys can build products, and you guys can make your own and sell it to people. Instead of people just becoming inspired to make their own, they bought mine. And I hadn't even priced them. They're going, like, how much is it? I'm like, for, I don't know, this manual and this CD set, $60. And so, like, there's 20 students in the room. Almost every single one of them bought. So in the lunch break, people ran off to the bank And they came back and they're like, Scott, are you going to be here through the lunch break? I'm like, well, I wanted to eat something. But they were in this buying mindset. They were getting excited. And I wasn't selling. Like, frankly, I didn't even do a pitch. I was surprised they even bought from me. But because I had the product there and I've gone, this is, my work, but imagine your work. Like, you can't just, tell people, my work's really important, my ego's amazing, and I'm the most important person ever, and you should buy my stuff. Because that's really coming from a selling mindset. That only would serve my ego. But when I was talking to them about theirs, going, look, I'm proud to have my stuff to sell, and it's amazing, but how would you feel doing this work and putting it together? And instead of just building their own, they're kind of like, well, can I see yours? Can I buy yours? And it was so surprising that even though I was paid $400 for the day to lecture, I made $800 on products that day. And thinking about that what actually is it that did it? And it's creating that buying mindset. Like, why should it be a delight for people to come to you and buy from you? Like, let's say you have an online course, or you have a workshop, seminar, retreat, or you have a one-on-one program. Are you just kind of just pitching? Or are you really creating a buying mindset in your consumer? And so if you want to change the world, but you're just starting out, there's a few things that is really going to get you right on track. Like, if you haven't got a pen and paper out yet, now's probably a good time to get it. Some notes to take down, things like, green brain. Just make sure that you're always going green brain. If you say anything that's red brain, come back to something green brain that backs it up. So sometimes you've got to use logic, but you've got to go back to the emotion. It'll increase your sales. So to impact the world, if you want to help people, why did you get into this business? You want to impact people, you want to make a difference, but impact requires income. So as a bit of a scale, a seed business is something where you're earning between $0 to $10,000 per year, and that's nearly nothing, or from nothing to 10,000. A startup can be from 10,000 to 100,000 per year. A lot of people can be there. A scale business can be from 100,000 to 1 million per year. And so, full disclosure, I'm still within there. I haven't really cracked 300,000 ever, but I am planning to, and I'm planning to do the $10 million per year. But it's a process. And then a scale business from 100,000 to 1 million per year. A strategy business is from 1 million to $10 million per year. So a seed or startup business requires you to focus on leads and sales. So quite literally, that impact requires income. If you're starting out and you want to save the world, but you go ew, sales is icky, it's probably still because you're coming from too much red brain again. You need to come back to some green brain. You need to drive growth. So a seed or startup, so if you're doing any less than $100,000 per year, you need to focus on just leads and sales, and that's it for a bit. Just get that happening until you're doing at least 6 figures, and then you can move on to sales and scale and strategy. And a scale strategy and structure business requires focus on leadership and dominating social media. So what they could call maybe the battleground, or where this war will be won. And if, again, war's a bad thing, but it's just a metaphor just to say who will win the game of business. It's going to be on social media. It's going to be on Facebook. LinkedIn is a really great place for business to business. You will do a lot better on LinkedIn if you are doing business to business. But if you're not actually targeting businesses, there's something there's less than 8 billion people in the world, and there is more than 4 billion people on Facebook. People keep saying, oh, my customer's not on Facebook. Well, if you have an internet connection, if somebody has a head and, arms, legs, even if they don't have arms and legs, some people don't, they're on Facebook. Your customer's on Facebook. So this game is going to be won on Facebook. So if you really want to get to that next level, it's really about dominating the social media game. And just thinking about it, it's that you need to drive growth, you need to get leads and sales. But once you get to that next level, it's really about making sure that that the person who wins is the person who can spend the most to acquire a client. If somebody could afford, let's say, $500 for a click, and they've got a backhand which converts so well that it really can afford just $500 for clicks, that person's going to dominate. And I'm not telling you to spend $500 on the click. If anything, we want you to start lean to begin with. Don't just throw money at problems. Throw creativity, throw green brain at problems. It's only once you get to scale and strategy that you start to consider, how much can I spend to acquire a client? In the beginning stages, you're sort of going, how can I just get some clients really quick without having to spend too much? And then how do I convert? Creativity, green brain is where to go. That will drive growth for you. And adding value drives growth. So adding value is when you're not always pitching, you're not always like the same as that we do pitching, we do sales, we offer our program, we do all of that red brain stuff too. But we surround it with so much green brain. Adding value drives growth. Ebooks, this doesn't need to be like War and Peace. It doesn't need to be 400 pages, best of times, worst of times, blah, blah, blah. It's not your life novel. An ebook can just be something very, very short, like a cheat sheet. It can be something that's so small, 5-10 pages, and solves a problem. Or a video training just like this, you might do face to camera, or you might do slides. Either your face is in it, or your face isn't in it. And you're helping people with their problems. You're sharing your perspective and solving problems. That's why people follow you, because they have problems and you have perspective. So you deliver either ebooks or video training, either face or no face, and you solve their problems with your perspective. And you make sure that you come from enough green brain that when you're solving problems, focus on inspiring people to solve their problems instead of just telling them how all the time. So there's what we call, like with format, the why, what, how, what, if. Why is the reason why people would do something. It's like, why would you want to solve this problem? So if I was to ask you, instead of just telling you exactly how all the time, how would your life be different if you were earning $100,000 or $200,000 per year and making an impact on your community with what you know? You're helping people with addiction, or you're helping people with relationships, or you're helping people with sleep, or you're using hypnotherapy, NLP, psychology. You're changing minds. How would that impact your life? Think about how that question feels on you versus step by step, do day one, do day two. Again, like when you join our programs, we do have that step by step, and it's one of the reasons people join us, because of the simplification of the process. But think about you standing at the end of those 15 days. You've finished, and you've got your funnel, and people are starting to book in with you. Think about how that would feel. What would your life be like? Who would you tell? What would you tell them? Where would you live? What hours would you work? Imagine the face of your customer, or like whether it's like a workshop. Imagine the faces of those people listening to you, having their lives changed because of your inspiration. So it's your perspective, it's your green brain perspective that's really going to make that difference. And once off isn't a relationship. So again, the probably the biggest issue that people have in business is that they're just so impatient. A funnel is multiple touch points over multiple channels with a personal message that solves a problem for your tribe. So you have to be not afraid to email people like a lot. Like even like once or twice a week. There is no reason on this planet, if you're adding value and it's green brain value, it's really great perspectives about their problem. There is no reason on this planet why you can't email your list at least once a week, or post on Facebook once a day. Just you're in the bathroom, an idea comes to you, like you were listening to the radio, or a friend told you something, or like I found that like this rule of threes, which is like a really good thing I posted about, that you sneak up on the dog a little bit and you're like, I got you, and then the dog's kind of like, yeah, whatever, and then you sneak up on the dog a second time and you're like, I got you, and the dog's like, I'm not moving, but I see what you're doing there. Then you sneak up on the dog a third time and you hug it, and then it gets up and goes, you know what, let's play. All right, you've put in three goes, let's have a play now. So once off is not a relationship. You have to continually be there. The same as that dating someone, or like if you want the dog to trust you, they've got to kind of think that you're part of their tribe, which means they need to see you kind of a lot. But they bark at the postman because they don't know who the postman is. And so the same as like your tribe is going to bark at you if they see you once. Like I've spent like nearly maybe $200,000 on marketing help and assistance and coaches and things. The first time I see everyone, I don't like them. I see their face and I don't like them, and I don't know why. But it's just the first time I've seen them. And then the second time I'm like, maybe I was a bit harsh. And the third time I'm going, maybe this person's kind of pretty good. Maybe they've got some good points. And then I buy all their stuff. So once off is not a relationship. Make sure that you're out there doing this multiple times. And the anatomy of a six-figure launch This is something I want to take you through just really briefly. We've got, under this video, there is a button to get a full explanation about how to do this launch, more of a step-by-step, but only for the people that are serious, because not everybody's really in this industry. Some people are just fans, some people are just trolls, some people are just the weirdos, and other people are really in this. Like, they're willing to make it their life's work. So the launch, it's 3 videos, an ebook, and a 4th video. The first one, pick a problem and come up with a green brain solution for their problem. So instead of it being so how and so step-by-step, come up with something that's a little bit more inspirational. This is meant to say bust, not bus, but we'll go with bust some myths. We're going to bust some myths. So video 2, talk about some issues people have and like why they've failed in the past. And again, make it emotional. Video 3, show a customer journey, testimonial, or case study. A lot of people don't know these are different things. Like a case study is when you go into a bit of a depth. Testimonial is when they do like a very short and punchy video for you, telling people to buy your stuff. And a customer journey is different from just a case study. A customer journey is where you show a little bit more of the pain, the failures along the way. You don't even necessarily need to end totally positive for a customer journey, or they can still be on their customer journey. Offer an ebook, like just a few pages. Make sure that it just inspires people to look for solutions, or have a cheat sheet. And then number 4, open up enrollments. Tell people about your program. What's it called? How much is it? What do they get? And have a call to action where they can join it. And so this is something that's worked for us over and over and over. And this is what we teach in this next video. Click the link under this, and there will be an opportunity that if you're somebody who wants to work with us, you want to, like, within 3 weeks get this done, absolutely great. We have limited spots and we can't let everybody in. But if you're somebody who's like, say, like you're not really active, or it's more of kind of a side hobby, or I don't know, if somebody's a bit of a weirdo for some reason, or just a troll going, I don't think that things work, yeah, then not so much like our tribe, that we filter those people out pretty quick. So you need to, in order to make a funnel work, you need to hit the 4 emotional triggers in the right order. Not only do you need the 4 emotions, but you need to do them in the right order, or else it won't work. And we'll see that in the next video, in the 4 Ps that we talk about. Until next time, hit the button and find out step by step, how do you do this launch? I'm Scott from Lawrence Hypnotherapy. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.